Good morning, my guys. I'm back. It is Tuesday, which is my Monday. I had the weekends off. I hope you guys had a fantastic Father's Day for all the fathers out there. And if you're a single mother, guess what? You're daddy too. So happy Father's Day. Okay. So just like the past few days, I'm going to continue going over the rating specs for Warlocks. All right. Rather than bunching it all up and talking a mile a minute for 30 minutes, I'm just going to do much shorter videos and talk a mile a minute for 9 minutes. How about that? So just like the Felguard build, the Fire Destro build, the Shadow Destro build, which will be linked somewhere above here. I don't know how to do it yet. Trying to figure it out, but whatever. This will not be a very well scripted or edited video, but rather just going to shoot off the hip here and give you guys my honest opinion on the specs. Now that TBC is finally out and I've been able to rate as much as I possibly can every week as each spec so far, not just one. All right. I'll also be building the talent build as well during the talk. I'll explain it as I go so you guys can see what I pick and why I do it. If you don't like something I say, oh well, this is my opinion. Let's beef it out in the comments. Or better yet, why don't you head over to the Warlock Discord where you can find any and all information and questions and content regarding Warlocks and of course the math on all these specs. Let's get started. All right. Affliction Warlocks, the unsung heroes of TBC. I'm going to go against the grain here. And I'm going to say that Affliction, while maybe not being able to do as much damage as the many of the other specs that we can be, is definitely way more fun than all of them. In a world where you're more or less spamming Shadow Bolts and Incinerates, Affliction Warlocks get to be rebels and put up a ton of dots. Then they get to spam Shadow Bolts, you know, so I guess they are spamming at some point. But so why, yes, a large portion of your damage is Shadow Bolts. You get to put up at least 3, 4, and sometimes even 5 dots on the boss while having to constantly watch dot timers so you don't clip your dots or forget to reapply them. And that's what makes this such an engaging playstyle and much more fun in my opinion. There are a few different specs for Affliction, which we'll get to at the end. Each of them will be on the lower end of the damage spectrum in comparison to the Felguard's Fire Destro, Shadow Destro, or even the DN spec, which I'll get into tomorrow. I'm so hyped about that. But that's not why you're there. You're there simply for your utility. You've got some important talents in your lineup, like Malediction, bam, which, as you can see, adds 3% more damage to your cursed elements. A must in any raid with tons of casters. Also to add, they have a talent called Shadow Embrace, bam, which does exactly as it says. Reduces the physical damage by 5%, making the boss and all mobs hit the tank and everybody else much less. To round it up for Affliction, you also have the lovely Imp, still spitting out that, bam, Blood Pact. Stamina, everybody in the party. It's a must-have for everyone. And all in all, Affliction Warlocks have the best and most engaging playstyle, as I said. While not being able to put up the numbers as Shadow Destro or Felguard's Warlocks, you can still pump very fucking hard. In this footage, we're all on even ground with no tailoring, and I'm Affliction. In this specific footage, I'm SM Ruin, which excels once you start getting your tailoring gear in order and you get some crit. And please, for the love of God, just because you are relegated to being the guild's Affliction Warlock, do not think just because you are playing the lesser class or a buffing class that you're not supposed to gear properly or pay properly, okay? Gearing and playing properly as an Affliction Warlock is paramount to your success. You still need to get your Spell Strike and Frozen Shadow Wave literally as soon as you can, because a geared Affliction lock can make a drastic difference on the meters. You are not just a utility bot. You are not the Affliction bitch. You are a powerful fucking
Warlock and a man, okay?
Using all your dots and abilities to do as much damage as you can while bringing that utility. So don't let anybody else tell you anything different, okay? I know these short vids aren't supposed to be for rotations and whatnot. Just an overview of the spec, but I figured this is going to get asked in the comments, and I get asked a lot, so I'll go over the rotation really fast. If you're running the Unstable Affliction build, which you will see in a little bit, then you should put up your Curse first, and then UA, Corruption, and then use Siphon Life depending on the boss encounter. On a fight like Gruul's Lair, specifically Gruul's encounter, where there's a constant mechanics doing damage to you or causing you to stop Shadow Bolting, then I always keep my dots up before the Science, Grand Slam, or the Shatter, or whatever else, and whatever boss that you're fighting at the time. Otherwise, I only Siphon Life when ISB is active on the boss. As for Immolate, as UA Affliction, I rarely ever use it. I do sometimes, but depending on my mana, I don't use it too often. But as an SM Ruin, I keep Emo up as much as I can, and you treat Siphon Life the same way you would as if you were UA. As for when you switch from UA to SM Ruin, the Warlock Discord would have the actual math on it, so be sure to check that out. But as you know, I'm shit at math, so I will always go UA until either I get my Spell Strike or at least 10% crit on the character sheet. Very important that it says so on the character sheet. Do not include totems, you know, Totem of Wrath, Boomy, or anything like that. Reasoning is simple. You get ruined. So go crit some Shadow Bolts, put up some dots, and give those Destro locks something to be scared of. All right? As for the spec, we're going to go down and build it right now, my friends, okay? So I'm going to do the UA first, I'm sorry. So UA, we're going to go 5 into here. You're going to put suppression based on your, obviously based on your hit. I don't know what your guys' hit situation is, right? So you want to try to aim to be hit cap. That's the thing with Affliction is you still need to be hit cap. I mean, it's not as important with Affliction because the primary your dot, like you do more damage with your dots than you do Shadow Bolt, but Shadow Bolt itself is your highest damage. But if you combine Corruption and Siphon Life and Immolate and UAs and whatever else you're putting up, they will combine to more damage than your Shadow Bolt, right? So make sure your hit cap still. This is going to help it. Put whatever ones you here for it. I always go here for the seed. I want this for the tap. That's all. And we're going to drop down and take one because at the times these right here are really situational. I mean, honestly, when you're specking UA, because you're not really agony that much because you are a curse bot, you can still agony trash mobs. There's mobs as an Affliction, as a Warlock period, you're not cursing every single fucking mob in the game, right? If you see an AoE packing you and as soon as you throw one seed, it blows up. I'm not doing anything to that. I'm not cursing that, right? So whatever. Anyway, keep on going. We can go down here for some instant heals because we love the instant heals. Let's go to Empowered Corruption because this is very, 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 very big. Some Nightfall, Reach, depending on your counter. I like Reach. Some people don't like Reach. We're going to put 5 into here because that's your whole goal as an Affliction lock, and drop 1 into Siphon Life, all right? This is a very big deal. Keep going down to SM. This is where SM comes from with SM Ruin. And then since we're going to UA, we need to open up UA. 5 in Contagion, which is huge because this is buffs your Curse Agony, which is not that big of a deal because you're not agonying that much. But your Corruption and your Seed Corruption damage, which is huge. Blood Pack, always nice, right? Malediction comes with a spec. You must have it all the time, right? Dark Pack, you know, I honestly don't take Dark Pack that often. But you definitely can. You definitely can. I would take them from wherever you want to put. I don't even know where I would take it from right now, but just put it anywhere you want to make sure you get it. I actually don't take it that often, and I actually let my imp pump. That's up to you guys. I mean, your imp can kind of sit down there and not pump. If your imp is dying a lot, then you're gonna have to go change some points around to make sure so you can get this Dark Pack, right? Which you can do anything. Just drop back down here and do it. For the rest of the points, I like to put them here because you have faster Shadow Bolts, faster Lid, get some crit. And then you want the range for, this is for range or threat. The threat on your Shadow Bolts is going to be non-existent. So you actually don't even need this that well. I still do it anyway, just to be safe in dungeons and whatnot. But up here, you can put somebody here if you want. Match whatever your ranks are for your Hellstones, right? Do whatever you're doing. So we usually Afflictions are 0. You know, your Destro, someone will be 1 of 2, someone will be 2 of 2. Make sure you match that. Pick up Shadow Burn, and you have extra points. Like I said, you can put this point wherever you want. You can put it here. You don't need Shadow Burn either. You can put 2 here. You have a lot of flex points with this build, right? So this is, you want something like this for UA. Okay, if you differ with me, I don't care. Okay, you're allowed to differ. My specs aren't perfect. I think they're great though, and this is what I pump with. All right, the footage cut off on my last one, so I have to redo this SM one. So this is the UA build that we just did, just simply for Ruin. We need to get 2 Ruin, right? Which means we need 20 points here, which means we're just dropping points in order to be able to get all the way there. There's SM. Go ahead and put some Intensity 1 down there. You have some filler points here. I like Shadow Burn, and then you go to SM. There's your Ruin, right? Now you need to get down to here, which means you just need to open it up. 1, 2, 3. You have 2 talent points left, whether you put them in Dark Pack or you can put them into here. That's up to you. But I have to go Dark Pack, put the extra one here. That's all, my guys. That is it. Go ahead and pump. Peace.